Hello, everyone. This is Lisa Andrus, Psychic Medium, and this is your yearly reading for July to December of 2015. And I did this one just like I did the first 6 months. So as you can see, I have an array of different decks. I just kind of grabbed them out of my shelves as I felt guided. You can see there are a couple months that we have double cards. So maybe they're big months. I guess we'll find out. I just go as I'm guided. So because I don't want this to be terribly long, let's just jump right into it. We left off with June, so this is for July, and this is from your Goddess Guidance Oracle cards, and let's see what the card for July is. It is Nemetona, and it's sacred space, and it says create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. Now, here in the northern hemisphere, July tends to be a time where a lot of people are taking vacations because it's summer vacation. The kids are out of school, and this is a message if you are thinking of taking a vacation for whatever reason, or even a spiritual journey of any sort, like for instance to a class, like I go to medium classes sometimes, and sometimes I get on a plane to do that. This would be a sign for you that that is time to do that, to go within, to connect. And if in your home you've been feeling like you need a sacred space, it's time to make one. You know, I don't have a big altar, but I do have some sacred space on some of my bookshelves. And they're saying that you could do that with anything, even that simple. And then I'm hearing that this card could also be about home. Not only those of you that perhaps want a new home, but also to make some sacred space within your home. Perhaps to get a house clearing. And then I guess I feel that they are saying, though, for those of you that want to purchase a new home, this might be the perfect time to either do it or start thinking about it. I was at an event where I was giving several readings yesterday, and there was one person that said to me that they'd like to buy a new home. Now, you guys have heard me talk about how I would like to do that as well. And what I ended up saying to this person, or rather the guides said and spirit said through the course of the reading, is sometimes you have to make a plan. So even if you don't know how that might work out, you just have to make a plan. Like a year ago, I knew that I wanted to buy a home this year or within the next year or so. And so I went and bought a car. I hadn't had a car payment in a long time, but I knew somehow that car loan would help me, when it came time to buy a house. I'm working on taking care of perhaps some old debt, some things that will help when it's time to buy a house. Now, they know that there are those of you that wish for that to happen. And that home is going to be your sacred space, which is the message of this card. And for those of you that does not apply, July will be a month that I feel like you're going to have a sacred journey, even if it's a sacred spiritual journey. Doing something like a soul retrieval or a spiritual quest of some sort, whether or not that is something that you actually seek out or whether it's just something that you have from within. Okay? Now let's see what we have from August. August is the first of 2 months that I don't know why I felt like drawing 2 cards. And we're using the Angel Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine. So I'm feeling guided to draw this one first, and let's see what that one is. It is the 5 of Earth, and it says, fear surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, uncertain self-employment. And they want me to draw both the cards at once, so I'm going to do that. And the second card is 6 of Water, and that card said, memories from your history or childhood, issues regarding children, romanticizing the past. Okay, I have to say the first thing I'm drawn to are the numbers, the 5 and the 6. And in July, whatever it is that you're wishing for, the numbers 5 and 6 are associated with that. So it could mean, like if you're saying something like, I want new romance, It could be 5 or 6 months, or 5 or 6 weeks, or maybe even in some instances 5 or 6 years, which might not be what you want to hear. But there's a message that's in these cards, which is that sometimes we create our own prison, that we create our own reality. And in creating, honestly, what some of us think of as a terrible reality, we can also create a pleasant reality. I'm thinking of something that I saw on Facebook, which was Tony Robbins said something, and it was just a quote from him, that the only people on earth without problems are those that are in cemeteries, meaning you don't get out of problems until you die. We're all here to be spiritual teachers and to do some spiritual things, and we're all here to be happy. And yeah, we're going to have some problems and some shit sometimes. Let's be honest. Okay? And that doesn't mean that that's what July is going to bring, but I feel like July is going to have some of these things come to the surface and give us some time to reevaluate what it is that we really want. Because it's not that we kind of wade through our shit, and I don't know why we keep saying this word right now. But it's not until we kind of get rid of some of the stuff that no longer serves us until we're going to move forward to that which we want. 5 or 6 months really in the future, I'm feeling like is the longest it's going to take for whatever it is that you're wishing for. Is it family? Because it says, I believe that one of these cards had a message on it about children. And I'm hearing specifically infertility, and if you've been experiencing any sort of infertility, this may be the month that it actually works out, or some sort of solution comes to the surface. They're saying to keep the faith and go as you're guided, and those repetitive messages that you're getting about whatever it is you need to do is that go back to school, get rid of some of the stuff in your house and give it away to charity, whatever it might be. If it's feeling like making a doctor appointment, maybe to see a fertility specialist, because I feel like children are involved in this message, or maybe it's about making a decision to consider other ways, perhaps adopting. Your dreams are coming true. You just have to believe in them. And 2 cards for this month says to me that it is going to be a powerful month. Okay? Now, that was August, so this is September, and we have the magical messages from the fairies, and you've heard me say it before, but it's one of my favorite decks. And the fairies also wanted me to draw 2 cards, and I have to say I was very reluctant to do so, but I just listened to my guidance. And we'll see what that brings, okay? Okay, so the first card is new career, and it says, your work focus is shifting on a positive, new, and successful direction. At last. Those dreams that you've been working on, and you think, the kind of proverbial, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Well, that new career is going to take off. I think one of the messages for last month was uncertain self-employment, and now for this month, it's new career. If you're thinking about a spiritually based career, one of the things that I do, which is this work as a psychic and a medium, it's very part-time. If I'm ever supposed to do it full-time, I will, but I have other things that I enjoy. And for many of you like me are entrepreneurs. I have other ways that I make money. I write books. And somebody said once to me that you're lucky that you have talents that are in demand. I'm also a singer and a musician, and could go out and, do things with bands, and I've been paid to do that. And of course I have a day job that I just love. And so sometimes that new career is wrapped up in many things. And instead, I feel like there are some of you that are frustrated that somehow it's not happening. And what I'm hearing is you're forcing, and to try to just relax. It's not until you relax and stop trying to force that sometimes your dreams have the ability to come to life. And in September, I'm starting to see that happen. Now let's see what our second card for September is. Ask for what you want. And it says, let the universe and other people know what you need. So sometimes to get that new career, you have to ask for what you want. And I'm really getting a clear message of a spiritual teacher or a spiritual business. If you are writing a book and you want one of your spiritual teachers to write a foreword in your book, you have to ask. You're not going to get what you want if you don't ask. If you want to teach some classes, or you want to teach some classes with one of your peers. For instance, one of my peers just asked to teach a class with me. And we kind of agreed that it would be a good idea, but she never would have known if she wouldn't have asked. And hey, I need to get out there and teach again. So in a way, we're co-creating together. So if it's a new career that you want, ask for what you want. And I'm really being guided to get a message that for some of you, it's school. If you've had the continual message to go back to school, maybe that will help you get that new career that you want. And if you don't think it's possible, in one of my readings last night, when I had somebody that it came up to go to school, I told a story which I will tell you now, which is when I wanted to go back to school years ago. I wanted to go to a private college that was more money than I had to spend. At the time, I was in my young 20s, and I just didn't have a lot of money, and I feel like that is a concern when people are thinking of going to school. So I walked into the financial aid office and I said, I really want to go to this school, but I really don't have the resources to do it. So if you can find me some financial aid to help me do that, I'll go here. And if you can't, unfortunately, I won't. And, they want you to go to their school. And that financial aid person found me exactly what I needed to be able to go. And I look back on that now, and it was one of the best times of my life. Even though I was exhausted, working almost full time, going to school, doing my homework, it enriched my life in more ways than I thought and led me to a better career. So for some of you, that is the message for September. And if the new career does not apply to you, maybe it's a new job, but regardless, the message is ask for what you want. Because if you don't ask, you'll never know. If you do ask the question, if it's a big, scary question, the worst that can happen is you hear no. But maybe you'll get the yes or the answer that you're looking for. Okay? Okay, so that was September, and this is October. We have the Archangel Power Tarot cards, again by Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine. And the card in September is Justice, and it's Archangel Raguel. And it says, fight for justice and equality. Rulings made in your favor. Don't give up. So, first of all, if there's any of you at that time with some sort of legal issue or some sort of justice that needs to be served, this is a card saying that everything will work out for your favor. I'm also feeling that related to this is the balancing of the scales. So if things have felt lopsided or out of order in your life, somehow this month will bring things all into focus and to feeling balanced again. And I feel that there are some of you, if you are a lawyer and you are listening to this, or involved in the legal system at all, this is a special month for you with special blessings, especially in regards to your career. Okay. Now, for November, we have the Angel Answers Oracle cards, again by Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine. And the card is yes. The answer is yes. And this is saying that you are on exactly the right path at the right time, and whatever that thing is you're wishing for, the answer is yes, even if you have no idea how it's going to happen. One thing that I want to do is adopt a child. I haven't really been very public about that. I'm just kind of coming to terms with it myself, and I have absolutely no idea how I'm going to do that because it costs a lot of money. And, there are certain things I have to get in order first, like my house. But what they're saying in this message, if you have a situation like that or that's complicated, you have no idea how it's going to happen. You have no idea how you're going to get your spiritual practice. You have no idea how you're going to meet your soulmate, and so on and so forth. The answer is yes. That is all. Don't worry about it. The answer is yes. All right, and for December of 2015, and I'm starting to get the feeling like the year is going to go as fast as this reading has gone. It's going to be a highly productive year, and it's going to start to feel better than the last few years, okay? And what I have here are the Doreen Virtue Angel Therapy Oracle cards. And the card is crystals, and it says the energy of crystals support you and helps you with your present situation. Now, I don't know about you, but I do have some crystals that I keep near me and I carry with me. And once when I went to Hawaii for my medium training with Doreen Virtue, I walked into a shop that had crystals, and there was a person there offering free healing with crystals, and she just proceeded, I believe what she was using was angelite, and she just proceeded to, I don't believe really touch me with it, but just kind of go over my energy field, and I felt healing that was happening. And if you have felt guided to actually be a healer with crystals, this really is a message for you. For some of you, this is to incorporate crystals into your home or your practice. But I feel that this is a good month for both using crystals, but also I'm hearing crystal children. Some crystal children may be in your home, maybe in your life, or it may be up to you to teach crystal children. And crystal children are highly sensitive. They're not the same as indigos. I think I have a little teensy blip about crystal children just for people that have questions in my Indigo Warrior book. But they're the more intuitive children. And so I would encourage you that if that's feeling like something that really is resonating with you, to look further in that. A lot of us are here to work with children. One of the readings I gave somebody just last night, I asked somebody, what is your dream career? What did you want to be when you grew up? And what do you want to be now? And she said, and this was a person with no children, but she said, start a daycare. And what could be more important than working with children? And I certainly don't think there's a shortage of people that need daycare or need some help with their children or their highly sensitive children. So this is a message for you, okay? It looks to me like it's going to be a powerful second half of the year. And I want to thank you all for tuning in with me. I hope this year in 2015 sees all of your dreams come true. And I want you to know I love you very much.